Okay, I think we're good. Oh, can everybody hear? How are we doing? You can hear me and the game. Cool, cool, cool. Just doing a sound check. Also, the light is a little crazy, so I'm going to turn off my ring light. One sec. We turned it off the barbaric way, but we did it. I can't reach the switch, so I just yanked it out of the wall. And it's fine. There were no dire consequences. Awesome. So as you can tell, we come into the game and it is raining, and we've accomplished this shrine, which is great, but we have 3 hearts, which is also interesting. We must have teleported here after getting hurt, which I think we did last time. We finished by being on top of a tower. Hi, Maybelline, good to see you. All right, so this is where we're at, yeah. Okay, so this week in chatting, we're gonna talk about the full moon coming up, which is really exciting. And then also I think we're gonna try to get to the top of this hill here and upgrade upgrade our Sheikah slate a little bit. So I'm gonna, yeah, full moon is tomorrow already. Today, wow, today is December 3rd. I know when all the moons are. I have no idea what day it is. So that's how this goes. So we're gonna just run through this. And these are gonna be important. I'm gonna mark these on the map because I remember from before, that's not what I wanna do. I remember from before that these are gonna be timed. And fun fact, I am notoriously terrible about being timed with things. So I'm just gonna mark those as we see them and try to find my way up the hill now. It's that way, okay. It's okay, helps me get my controls back together. Awesome. Also, hello to our amazing mod, AJ. Hi, AJ. Thank you for being here. Ugh. I'm getting better at switching between the control pad with this game and other games I play, though. I'm really excited about that. So we'll mark this too. Yep. Nice emojis, AJ. All right, and then this is also going to get a star stamp. Why do I feel like it... Did it even do the last one? Yes, it did. Fantastic. We're going to be okay. We're going to be okay. All right. So we're going to go all the way up here, and we're going to hope by the time we get up there that this person's just singing in the rain, which is great for them, that the rain stops. It looks like it already is, so that's fantastic too. Yes, love that. Cool, cool, cool. So the goal currently is to upgrade the Sheikah slate. Hey, Aaron! Have you all seen the moon tonight? It's so bright and beautiful. Where I'm at, it has a halo around it. That's really cool. That's honestly phenomenal. I love that for everybody. Remember where that thing is, you guys, because it's going to be important. Where's the rest of the up here? Because we're going like up. I just have to remember where that is. Aha, I went off path. Okay. Yes, we are actually going to be talking about West Coast here. Still a little day. Looking forward to it. Man, I wish we had more sunlight here, honestly. I've contemplated a West Coast move several times, but every time I think about it, circumstances actually push me to just staying here. So it's not that I haven't tried West Coast, it's just that this is apparently where I'm supposed to be. It's funny, when Em and I started working together, we were actually on the same latitude, but different sides of the country, which was neat. But we are going to talk about the full moon. It's got some interesting things about it. If you haven't heard me talk about it on Monday's broadcast or my video on YouTube, it's really interesting, and I keep thinking about it just because there is the factor with the north and south nodes, and we can go into those a little bit too. I mean, that's something that gets tricky in astrology because it's given such little attention in ancient stuff. So it's been very open to interpretation over the millennia, especially in recent centuries. So fun stuff there. I'm going to read this and see what it says. And at the top here, I think I'm going to, whoa, okay, I'll just climb it instead of reading it. No soliciting. Fair. I'm probably going to bring out Wolf Link up here too, because I think there are a couple enemies that I could use some support with. Because I only have 3 hearts technically right now, and yikes. Okay. Put one there. Look at this. We're doing great. We're doing great. I'm sure we've missed some, but that's where we're going. Huzzah! Maybe it was in Tears of the Kingdom that I had a problem with it. We'll find out. Yeah. Monday's Mood Boost was so good and educational. Yay! Going to do a rematch to help information sink in better. If you want me to repeat any of it tonight, Erin, let me know. I'm happy to go over it again. I know one of the things you talked about was how to tell which signs the moon is in and when you might have a really interesting dream. So we can do that. This is going to be a little bit of cutscene, I think. So this is Pura or Pura. I do not know the best way to say it. I have a feeling I'm getting it wrong. But I have business with the director. And the director is in the back, terribly busy person. She's lying. Yeah. It's a really cool story about Pura, actually. And then, yes. And then in another game that was made non-canonically related to this one, which is Hyrule Warriors, I think it's Age of Calamity, they actually go into a little bit of Pura's backstory, which I think is really neat too. Remote bombing, Cryonis, and what else? Rooms, but strange, it doesn't seem like you have the basic rooms. I don't understand why they're missing. There must be some reason. Well, that's not my bad. I did all the main tutorial shrines. And holding a sheet of slate will appear. Yeah, typically. Forgot to tell you something very important. You had interesting dreams last night. I would love a recap of what to look for in your houses. Yes, totally happy to. We'll let you guys read through these if you want to. Basically what we're learning here is that the little girl actually is not a little girl. She found a way to reverse age herself. So she knows Link from 100 years ago. Long story short. So we're going to be able to use that eventually, but we're going to have to turn it back on, as you can see. So that's the process we're in right now here. And eventually I think she lets us take pictures of stuff, which is the whole main goal that we're getting to move the story forward here. Yeah, slumber restoration, here we go. So, in Agrippa, and I got this from 3 Books of Occult Philosophy. It is book 1. It's chapter 50 or 60 something in book 1. It's near the end of the book. And this book is written by Cornelius Agrippa, but fun fact, most of it is him citing other people without citations, because they just didn't do that when they were quoting other people back then. Yeah, the little girl is timey-wimey and wibbly-wobbly, 100%. It's like Benjamin Button, but also Doctor Who, because I got the reference. Yes, so the situation is, according to this book, and it's so cool because Agrippa's mentioning timing techniques in this book. One in particular being annual perfections. You've heard me talk about annual perfections a lot. And so in annual perfections, every year of your life is highlighting a different sign of your chart. Now there's a debate whether it's a house system or a sign system basis, but if you're using whole sign houses, it doesn't matter. So the first sign in your chart is your rising sign, followed by the next sign, which would be your second house in a whole sign house system. So first sign is your first house, and that is your rising sign, followed by the second, third, all the way around to 12. In your first year of life, according to annual perfections, your first sign is activated. Thank you, AJ, for helping me with the highlights here. Your first sign is activated. And so from age 0 to 1, as you are completing the first year, you are completing the first house. So that's how you want to think about it. It's very helpful because I know my brain gets caught up on this. So at age 1, you actually begin house 2. You are completing the second year. So you want to think about it as like, my last birthday was 35. I'm completing the 36th year. So the 36 is what I would kind of count around. Now, there are really easy things online to help you with this, so you don't have to worry about it. On astro-seek.com, you can do the traditional astrology thing for your chart, scroll down, and it'll do the math for you. You can also Google annual perfections chart, and you can typically find it. So that'll make it easy for you to find your age on the chart that you are now, because it'll start at 0 for you. And then you can find your age and associate it with the house and sign, because they'll be the same. And Erin, yeah. Oh, hey, Ren. Erin, you're correct. Rising sign and sun sign are not the same. So yes, I love the confirming in my head. I do the same thing. I'm literally having that same conversation with my own mentor. So difference between sun sign and rising sign in astrology. For everybody who's just joining us, we're doing some story stuff right now. We're going to turn this thing back on so that we can get more stuff in our Sheikah slate and then move forward with the story. So, difference between your sun sign and your rising sign in astrology. You're going to want to pull up your chart to be able to check this, and it gets into a really fun fact. So first thing I'm going to tell you is how to tell the difference between your sun sign and your rising sign. And then the second thing is going to be the fun fact I was going to tell you. It's about horoscopes. So I'm going to check this really quickly. Carry the blue flame from the ancient furnace in Hatena village to light up the furnace, which is why I was setting up all those little indications for myself. Cool. So here we go. Back out here. All right. And it's raining. That's going to help. We're also going to need a torch. I bet we can find one around here. So this is what I'm going to light. I have to remember that. I'm going to just look around for a potential torch. Farming hoe, which is better than what I've got on me. What do I have on me? Okay. Yeah. So, rising sign versus sun sign. Sorry, guys, I got distracted. Your sun sign is going to be the sign you're probably most familiar with. It is designated by the month that you were born and the sign that the sun was in at that time. So, if you were born with the sun in... Right now, I think it's in Sagittarius. It just came into Sagittarius. You're a Sagittarius sun. So you can find that just by figuring out what day your birthday was and where the sun was at that time. I just totally ruined my blade for no reason. That's fine. And so that's how you figure out your sun sign. It's what you've probably known most of your life because a dude named Alan Leo got us all hooked on sun sign astrology because he didn't want to do the math for primary directions back in the 1800s. Just going to say that. Anyway, your rising sign is totally different. Here's a torch. Your rising sign is very different from your sun sign. In fact, sometimes it's the same. Some people who were born at sunrise, you're lucky. Your sun sign and your rising sign are the same. If you were born at sunrise, you're good. Seriously, Erin, not wanting to do the math is kind of understandable, mostly because it is spherical trigonometry that you have to do. I'm learning it right now. It's not easy, but also it's worth it. So I will be able to do even more amazing timing techniques for everybody when they do my consultations. I will do them even in the general ones because it's really useful and really helpful. So yeah. But anyway, learning the math is worth it because you want to do it as thorough as possible. Fantastic. But not doing the math, cool, except it sent us down that path of only doing sun signs. And now we're at the point of like, what's a rising sign? When in tradition, rising sign was what they were asking for. When someone said, hey, what's your sign? You would have given them your rising sign. Thank you. My reaction time here is not so good with my controller. So your rising sign is different. And I gave you a bit of a hint that if you were born at sunrise, your rising sign and your sun sign are going to be the same. That's because the rising sign is not necessarily where the sunrise is. It's what sign is rising on the horizon. Hi, Twitchy Stucklin. So, so basically what you get into is what was the sign that was rising at the horizon. This is going to be annoying because we have to go across the water for this. I should probably knock that tree down or something. This is not Tears of the Kingdom, so I don't know if I can actually make that a bridge or not. We'll find out. Like, how am I going to walk around that is the question. Because that's going to put the flame out, you know? So we'll try this a couple times if we have to. So your rising sign is what was rising on the horizon at the time you were born, not necessarily where the sun was, even in the sky at the time you were born, right? So what we come to there is if you were to look eastward at the horizon when you were born, there would have been, even though it's daylight or nighttime or whatever, there would have been a constellation there. Just because the sun's up and we can't see the stars doesn't mean they're not there, right? So there's a constellation rising there. And in tropical astrology, you would look at that constellation as the constellation that marks the sign of your sign, which is then in a house, right? So that sign is going to be listed at around the 9 o'clock part of your astrology chart, and it's going to have a 1 on it on the inner circle. That is your rising sign. That's how you can find it across the board. Here we go. And so you will always be able to find your rising sign that way. Now, your sun, like if you were born at noon, the sun's going to be somewhere around the top of the chart because it was a different, oh, yeah, there we go. This is going to happen a couple times, you guys. I am clumsy in life and in game. But it's okay, because the more we light these torches, the closer we get. So, yeah, that's going to be your rising sign versus your sun sign. For example, there we go. For example, I was born at sunset. So actually my sun is exactly opposite my rising. I can't jump. Okay. That's the actual problem here. Okay, we'll get good at this. It's fine. My sun is exactly opposite my rising sign. And the moon was rising at the time that I was born. So let's calculate this a little bit. Because there are more down there. We're going to have to go down. Okay. We'll do that. That's fine. This is a tricky one. So yeah, your rising sign is always going to be at 9 o'clock. Your sun could be, gosh darn, anywhere in the chart, depending on the time of day that you were born. And this is where it gets really cool too, right? Because you can remember that, yes, you can remember that looking at an astrology chart is very much like looking at a clock. It's not a perfect amalgamation or whatever, but it's very similar. So if you were born in the morning at sunrise, you're going to have a chart that shows sunrise. If you were born in the middle of the day, you're going to have a chart that shows the sun up in the middle of the sky. If you were like me, born at sunset, then you're going to have a chart that shows the sun setting. If you were born around midnight, it's going to be at the bottom section of the chart. So you can actually start using the chart as a really good indicator for where to find things. You can do the same thing with the moon, which I recommend more because, you know, you can actually look directly at the moon, so you don't have to worry about whether or not you're going to go blind trying to find stuff, which is great. Where's my next torch thingy here? We're going to make it, we're going to make it, we're going to make it. This thing will go out on us, so I have to, like, refresh. There we go. Yeah, so that's how it works. So you can look at your chart and find the moon. Then you can actually like look at the chart right now, especially if it's nighttime for you already, and you can start comparing where the moon is in the sky to where you're seeing it in the chart, and then what's near the moon in the chart. Is there a planet near the moon in the chart? And then you can look for the nearest bright star. Oh, I lost my path here. Okay, back. So you can look for the nearest planet near the moon, and then when you look at the moon in the sky, you can actually find the planet, and it gets to be really, really cool. I keep doing this. How do I lose the path here, man? So yeah, that's one of the more fun things to do. Y'all, I do not know where I am here. There's the path. All right, I was just backwards. Cool, cool, cool. So we're gonna come here again, get that kind of relit, and start running. Yeah. So that's the way that goes. so we're gonna light this torch. And then we're gonna come around here and hope the wind doesn't put my torch out. No. Another torch. Yay. Okay. They're trying to make me nervous, and they're succeeding. But it's okay, because I can always just go back. I don't want to run, because the wind might help put the torch out. We're so close up here, and they're doing it on purpose, and I know they are, so I have faith that it's going to last. Hey, Jenny, it's good to see you. All right, awesome. So we were just talking, Jenny, about telling your sun sign from your rising sign. And then I kind of segued a bit into how to use the moon to find planets in the sky based on where the moon is in the actual chart. And you guys, look, I think we did it. Got it. I'm standing in the flame, but like, okay, whatever. It's fine. Yeah. So, good, that did not hurt me. We did it. I did keep running, but it's okay. All that happened was I ran up here and I made it to this thing. Yay. And now we can teleport here, which is great. I'm gonna save this torch. There we go. Now we're gonna go in and get some more cutscenes. That was not bad. Honestly, I was dreading this, but I feel pretty good about it. Yeah. So, as a recap, basically, sun can be anywhere in the chart depending on what time of day it was, and the rising sign will always be at the 9 o'clock position on your chart, which is going to have a 1 associated with it because it is considered the first sign of your chart. And because it is the first sign of your chart, it helps us understand the layout of the rest of your chart, especially in a whole sign system, right? So 0 to 29 degrees of that rising sign is gonna actually tell you your first sign. And then 0 to 29 degrees of the following sign is your second house. So first house, second house, all the way around. This is how we do rising sign horoscopes and can be a lot more specific with the horoscope, because now that I know what your rising sign is, I know where all the planets are by transit to you and your chart. That is how it makes it easier for an astrologer like me to make things more specific to you in a horoscope. So for example, if you are Scorpio rising and the moon today is moving into Gemini, I think she still was in Taurus earlier today. I know that a Scorpio rising has Taurus as the 7th house, so the moon is moving from your 7th house into your 8th house, and that full moon is going to be in your 8th house. So now I can look at the 8th house and say, what are those topics? And I will then interpret the 8th house for this full moon in that context for you. And that way it's a lot more particular than just saying, you're 1/12 of the population has the same thing as you. Now we have a camera. Yay, we did that. And this is where the story stuff comes in. I'm so excited. Yeah, so I hope that helped. Getting back around to the original question of, then we find which 3 signs you can look for when the moon is in those signs. You might have interesting dreams, according to Agrippa. So all of that was contextual to answering this question. Annual perfections being very important to this, as well as your solar return. Your solar return is a chart that you just cast for the day of your birthday. You just want to make sure the sun is exactly at the same degree it was in your actual birth chart. Many things will cast this for you, so you don't have to necessarily worry about it. In astro-seek.com, there's a solar return link. You click that, you get it. So the 3 signs that you want to look for, it's always going to be 9th house, okay? So it's the 9th house of your natal chart, which is going to be whichever sign is 9 away from number 1. There will be a number 9 on the inner circle there for you. Then you check what perfection year you're in, and you're going to look at the 9th house from that sign. So you just count the perfection sign you're in is number 1, then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and you'll get around to the 9th house from your perfection sign. That is your second one. Now remember, this is only for this year because an annual perfection turns over every birthday. So your perfection 9th house is going to change every year. So for this year, it is the 9th from this year's perfection sign. So your natal chart is always there. The moon, you're always going to have interesting dreams according to this theory when the moon is in your natal 9th house. You will also have interesting dreams according to this theory when it is your perfected 9th house, or the 9th house from your perfection sign. A third option is going to be when you look at your solar return and find the 9th house of your solar return chart. Now your solar return also changes every birthday. So those last 2 signs change every year, which is neat, right? Because there's one sign that you're like my go-to dream sign, right? That's my 9th house in my natal chart. I can expect interesting dreams around that time potentially. Oh, I have to take a picture. One moment. And then the other 2 will change. So you have this opportunity. Stop talking to her, dude. So you have this opportunity to then have different signs give you different dreams, which give different meaning, right? So it's really cool. Aaron says my moon is in my natal 9th house, so we'll have to check out your solar return. Just had your 32nd birthday, yay! Yeah, your solar return and your annual perfection. And then we had another question here from Steph Lynn. You saw the Luigi Mignoni get off. Sorry, I'm not reading it out loud because it's news related, so I want to make sure that I can. Any current astrology reflect the news? Okay, so yeah. Erin, fantastic, perfect. Yeah, so let's really quickly. That is the camera. Yay! We'll just take a picture of it. Hurrah. Cool. We can take pictures of everything now for completionist's sake if we want to. So, the news right now is crazy. And honestly, with all the stuff that came out today, it's not what I was expecting yet. I'm expecting most of the stuff. I was expecting it to happen next week, to be perfectly honest with you. That's when I see a transit that I'm just like, there should be some interesting, controversial things happening around then. But yeah, transits typically will show up in the news, especially the news headlines. What planets you want to look for those kinds of things are going to be the outer planets, either interacting with each other or interacting with an inner planet that gives them more opportunity. And honestly, really quickly, because I'm really fortunate to have 2 screens, I'm going to look at something that's going to show me the exact transits for right now. And I'll let you know if I see the one related to today. So I'm going to wonder, based on what we're seeing here, I'm going to wonder if this is more related. And there's some more research I would want to do, to be honest. As an astrologer, I'd want to be like, let me look at this, let me look at that. Let me look at the person of question's birth chart and his own timing to see what's going on. But this might likely be more related to the full moon. The full moon is amplifying a lot of different things. It's in Gemini, and Gemini, of course, is opposite of Sagittarius, where the sun is, but Mars and Venus are there too. And it's also still quite connected by square, because Gemini is a mutable sign, so it is square to Pisces, which is where Saturn and Neptune are. That Saturn-Neptune thing has been wild. So that's another thing that's kind of being brought into it. And it is also trine. It's not exactly trine, but it's in like a whole sign trine with Pluto. And in Gemini, it's not talking to Uranus. So, but next week, I do think a lot of the stuff we're hearing right now, because there are some headlines today that have happened that I'm like, oh dang, about, but I think we're going to see the build up this week and then what they are actually doing, like what's actually coming of it next week. In particular, next Monday on the 8th, we have that Mars-Saturn square. I got to talk about this on the podcast, which you guys will get to hear on Monday. I think I just walked out of there for like no reason. I don't know if I'm done. Did the quest update? Slated for updates. Pura has offered to help you in exchange for some ancient components. Who is Robbie? You'll have to ask Pura. Okay, I have to go back to her and give her some ancient components, which I've got. Yeah, so I do think we're going to see all of that stuff culminate next week as it's coming into formation. So, yeah. Cool. Oh, good. She powers up our runes with ancient materials. Fantastic. Oh, I thought I had them. Okay. Cool. So now we just go get more ancient materials. But, like, not enough for you, honey? Okay. The other thing we can do is find the locations of the pictures that we got. So I'm going to show you. We go over to our album. And these pictures, when we go there, we will be able to trigger memories for Link and get the actual storyline. So that's another thing we can do is kind of piece together the storyline as we make our way towards the rest of the story. Yeah. So I hope that's a satisfactory answer, Stephlin. But yes, there are transits that I'm looking at. And also I think that this is the build-up. I kind of think it is. But time will tell. And I will adjust, my stuff the more I research it. But yeah, interesting that that's coming back up. The thing I would do, and how I will research this, is I would go back and remind myself of what transits were going on when the story first started and see how they are progressing. Looking at the past is the best way to make sense of the present and predict the future in astrology and in a lot of other ways. So we often will do that and say, like, for annual perfections, right? If I'm in a 12th house here and I'm like, ugh, what's that going to do? You want to look at a lot of different things for context, but one of the general things you can do is look back 12 years ago and say, well, that was the last time I was in a 12th house year. What happened then? Because you did survive it, so there's that. And that's like one of the, like I said, most general things that you can do. Cool. So we're back down here. I'm going to decide what we want to do next. But also, Ren says, does having the moon natally in the 9th house boost amount of spiritually charged dreams? Well, in theory, I would say yes. But here's what I'm going to do as an astrological scholar. I'm going to ask you, Ren, do you feel like you have spiritually charged dreams a lot? Because I would say probably so. But there are factors that could mitigate that. There are factors that could amplify it. So I'm going to ask you, as someone who has it natally, this is like the same thing as, when someone's going through something and you're like, wow, I can imagine it, but I can't relate to it, right? So I can imagine it, but you live it. So I'm happy to defer to you. People do that with me and Pluto moon aspects all the time. I only have 200 rupees? Like, serious? I need to start making money. Okay, so we know to come back here for something that's going to help us not die as easily. All right, let's get some goals here. Let's establish some goals for ourselves. But yeah, Ren, let me know. Let us know in the chat. That'd be really fun. Yeah, if you have really cool dreams, that's awesome. I know, like, I've been talking to a lot of people lately who are like, I have really good dreams, or I don't. This was, of course, the conversation we had in the study that I'm part of with Agrippa right now, where we were reading about Agrippa's 3 signs that you can get good dreams with. And I will tell you, do you want to hear about a dream talisman? I did make a dream talisman once, and it was really interesting how it helped me. Erin says, I know I do. Some of my dreams end up coming true-ish, like deja vu in very small increments. They're only moments, but I know I've been through it before. Yeah, that's a thing. Erin, you might like the episode of The Alchemist Inkwell we did with John Edward. He talks about deja vu and his theory on it in that. It's an inherited thing from your great-grandmother. Very hard to interpret, though. That's interesting. So dream interpretation is another thing. Some people have a really big knack for it. It's on your watch list. Yay! I think you'll really like it. It's one of my favorite episodes, honestly. It's someone with like incredible integrity and a really good sense of humor and incredibly talented. What more could you ask for? I'm looking at our list of adventures here we can do. Playtime, Xenoblade Chronicles 2. I forgot all about that. Nice. We could do that eventually. So we have to do this next. But Sheikah Sensor takes 3 ancient screws. Remote bonds. Okay, so now we have our next thing. We gotta fight some stuff. Okay. Okay, I guess I don't have enough of those. I mean, this is what I've been kind of working towards when I've been collecting things, but we should probably at some point fight one. which means we need some shrines. That's our goal right now. Shrines and guardians, unfortunately. Yay. Okay, so we're gonna take a peek around, and see if we can find some shrines. If you see a glowing orange mound or a blue mound, you know what? We're gonna have a better view from the tower. Where is my tower? We'll go over to our tower here and see what we can see. Okay. Yours are so vivid. You remember everything. You'll sometimes recall a memory and need to think if it was a dream or not. So true. Yeah, so dream interpretation. Rules of thumb that I come up with this. I tend to be decent at dream interpretation. You want to hear about yes? Beulah, I appreciate you. I will tell you the dream talisman story. You are so great. It's weird when it's not, this feels like deja vu, but it is, I remember dreaming this. Yeah. Yeah, there is a stark difference. That is not a tower. That is not where I wanted to go. Whoops, come back here. There's my tower. We got there. Okay, yeah. So, general rules of thumb for dream interpretation is, first and foremost, I know this is going to sound weird, ignore what symbols should mean. So you're going to want to take your dream, and I recommend if you're really trying to interpret it, write the whole thing down like a story. Get a journal, write everything out, or bullet journal it, and be like, this happened, then this happened, because sometimes dreams are fragmented, right? So this happened, then this happened, then this happened. And it's okay if it's just bullets of things that happened. And after that, what you're going to want to do is, that's the Twin Peaks, we've already done that one. Okay, after that, what you're going to want to do is go through and like highlight things that seem to stand out. So you'll say like, I saw a dog. Dog is going to be the symbol. I noticed this thing in the dream. That's going to be important, right? So you want to pay attention to the things that are turning out to be symbolic. Major dream for me is I end up having to call someone on a rotary phone and I keep getting the dial wrong. And so that is a recurring theme for me in dreams and a recurring symbol in the dream. So you have to ask yourself, like, why? What's the meaning behind that? And it's not necessarily what Google is going to tell you or even what traditional dream interpretation is going to tell you. It is going to be, what does that mean in your own head? Because yes, sometimes symbols are like really inspired and all that stuff. What is going on here? I think I can take this guy. Hang on. I'm going to hope that guy leaves me alone enough that I can sneak up on this guy. Nope, he's awake. He's awake. Oh, but I could have taken a picture. Hang on. Gotcha. Okay. Did we get him? Yes, we did. Awesome. We're creating a compendium now. So I don't need to do that now. We can get out. And, oh yeah, that was always going to happen. Okay, so you want to decide what it means to you. And I'm fighting with a torch. No wonder I'm not doing well. Okay, I'm being attacked from all over the place. Let's bring out this guy. First of all, stop it. Stop it. Get help. What does the dream symbol mean to you? Like if it's important to your childhood, if it's important to something that you've been through before, bring that up. Rotary phones were something that I had struggles with as a kid. And what was that feeling? What did that feeling mean to me when I was a kid and messed up with a rotary phone? You know, because yes, there may be some psychological Jungian kind of comparison that you could get into, but the most important thing is going to be, what does my brain think is happening here? That's all we need to really care about. You are not going to find anything, friend. Also, who's doing this? Okay, hang on. I gotta deal with some nonsense here. Awesome. We'll take that. Awesome. Cool. And now we'll just collect all this stuff, including the arrows, always the arrows. Yeah. So trust your own interpretation of symbols above all else. If you're stuck on something, research it, but don't take what you research as gospel. Take it as inspiration. It's going to be like an oracle card. It's going to guide you to the next right thing. It's going to guide you to the next thing that will inspire you towards whatever it is that you actually do need. So don't let stuff tell you how to think or who to be in any situation. Probably most of all when it comes to your magic. AJ says, I also find writing it down how you felt while you had the dream. Yep. Yep, because that's your subconscious reacting to it, right? So that's really important and helpful. Can I ask one of you horses to be my friend? No, you're all gonna go away. I just need to get somewhere, and I figured maybe we could go together. Good point. Reactions and actions are part of the situation. They are. In fact, they're the whole situation, right? It's your dream. It's your dream. It's your brain. So this is more about your brain and what it's going. Oh, hi, guys. No, I don't need you. I need the horses. Okay. That was rude. Dreaming about dreams. Yes. Yep. The fun thing is when you have, oh, stop zooming in. There we go. Is when you have a dream and it continues the next night, or like even in the same night. Where are these guys? You're all leaving me. Okay, fine. I'll just find it on my own. We are going. Where are we going? I have my little marker on here. Where'd it go? Oh, way over there. Okay. There's no other ones? Oh, all right. We got time. All right. So. Hey, pattern scribe. Sadness. No. You have really scary dreams, and notice that if you felt chill about it, then it's probably something you have overcome. I love that interpretation. That's fantastic. Yeah, I used to have. I'm going the exact wrong way, aren't I? No, I'm not. Okay, just a little bit of a detour here. I used to find that I'd had like night terrors, and I would have like these demons coming to attack me in my dream. Rude, by the way. Do not recommend. And what would happen was eventually I started deciding, like, I remember the first time this happened too. It was, I was a kid, and it was a dream where there was a giant wasp on the playground. And it came over, and it was going to sting me. And now my room was infested with wasps as a kid, so this was like the worst thing that could possibly happen in my life at the time. And when the wasp came up to me, like face to face, I realized I was in a dream because wasps aren't that big. And I decided it wasn't going to hurt. So I just stared at it while it stung me repeatedly. And I was like, well, I don't need to be afraid of this anymore because obviously this does nothing. And then it was like achievement unlocked, and I have been able to lucid dream really well ever since, to the point that I would be in a nightmare, decide that I wasn't in the nightmare, send myself to a different part of the world where whatever the thing was couldn't be, and then I'd be like, well, I'm in a dream. I might as well teach myself to fly, because I can't do that in like waking life. So I started learning to fly in my dreams, which, if you didn't know, is like one of my huge life goals. I am convinced my natural state is flight, and I just haven't achieved it yet, but I've got time. So dreams and processing things is something I also experience. Yeah, well, and that's what dreams do. Sometimes they're prophetic. Sometimes they have like crazy meanings to them and stuff. But sometimes they're your subconscious just dealing with things. And it's important to let your subconscious have that minute too. So if you have a dream, you can kind of start learning what's a processing dream and what is more of a, I guess you could say prophetic or intuitive dream. Yeah, but those are some things. I know, I was just thinking the same thing. AJ, you're reading my mind. Yeah, I'm getting low on health, but I don't necessarily, I need to cook stuff, which story of my life. Yeah, I'll just, we'll have a skewer. We'll have a mushroom skewer. This is what it's here for, right? Okay, now we're good. That bull's gonna gore me if I get too close to it though. So I'm gonna just let him. Don't do it. Okay. I'm not coming for you. You don't have to come for me. Okay. Just. Whoa, buddy. Are you? I mean, I need a mushroom, sure. I just feel like he may have. Nope, he didn't go off the cliff. Okay, he's fine. He's fine. So am I. I'm fine too. That's a Korok out there is what that is. So we're going to end up getting that in a second. I used to have terrible dreams as a kind of just generational trauma. Yeah, that's such a big thing right now. Kudos to all of us who are working on it. Sometimes I'll tell my hubby if I had a dream, or a dream capital D, so he can help me remember it. That's awesome. You find if you can remember, is it raining again? Physical sensation from a dream once you wake up, then it's usually more spiritual. Exactly. That's a great way to remember it. Where are my little trees that I was going for? They're down there? They're down there. And then we're going to make our way over to that thing. So, that's the current plan. This is going to give us a Korok seed, which is useful. Yeah. Just catching up. Something that happened to my family 12 generations back. Wow. I was talking to my Brockeride group recently about generational curses specifically and like how to break them and that kind of stuff. There are multiple theories for the record, but it was interesting hearing their take. The one thing I haven't talked about yet, you have spirit mess with your dreams, and it was just a weird dream. Ugh. Yeah, that's I understand that too. So the Dream Talisman story, if you would like to hear it, goes back to, there was I messed up. I was supposed to take these as a model and leave one apple left, so we'll have to come back and do this later. But hey, free apples. Yeah, so the Dream Talisman I made was back when I was first studying astrological magic under the mentorship of my mentor. It was like an 18-month mentorship all in all. And the reason it was because he would have me read source material, and then I would have to do elections for talismans, and he would have to review them and approve them. And so I went through this whole process of just learning how to do it as sort of one-on-one as it gets in 2020. And so I was going through this, and he would post in a small group of magicians that he had included me in for the time being, different elections he was noticing. And it was 2020, so they were few and far between because the sky was a wreck. It's still kind of a wreck, and we're working with it. We're learning how to get real creative with our talismans these days. And so, I'm just going to let that go for now. So he posted about this Mercury in Pisces dream talisman. Now, Mercury is detriment and fall in Pisces, so I was like, why are we messing with a planet that is in its worst condition at a time like this? But some guy in the Renaissance, I think it was Ficino, had written down that this was a dream talisman and that it worked. And I was like, you know what? I could use help in a dream right now. I needed to make a decision for my health about, COVID measures at the time, and I needed clarity on something. And so I decided to make this talisman. I waited for the right day. I did it at the right hour. I made it out of, it was actually metal because it's still in my pillow. So I made this talisman using mercury materials, mercury images. I carved it with a Cricut machine. That's how I did it back then. I used my Cricut machine. So I designed an image in Canva. I put it into my Cricut machine. Oh, goodness. Okay. And made the talisman and then consecrated it within like an 8-minute window. It was ridiculous. I think I had to get up at like 4 something a.m. to get the window right. Yeah, what works. And it did, right? So just in case you were ever wondering, can I zoom in? How do I zoom? No, I want to zoom, dude. Nope, they saw me. Okay, well, we won't be getting that picture just yet. Oh my God, we're probably going to die here, so just everybody be warned. Sure, and then, yeah, I would like to, that's going to be great. Okay, this is going to be really chaotic, but here's hoping. Okay, next one. So much cheeky stuff, but it's okay. Oh gosh, okay, well, there we go. We'll try again. Those are the tougher ones. I was not prepared for this. Yeah, so I ended up making the talisman. I put it in my pillow. I journaled how it went, what I felt like during it, all of those things, because, it's a whole experience. It's a very meditative process. And then that night I had a dream. Oh, fantastic. That night I had a dream, and it was very specific. So not to get political, and I know it's been a couple of years, but I just want to make sure we're all good, and I'm sure we are. I had to figure out if I was healthy enough or the right kind to, yeah, if I was, you know, safe to get the COVID shot at the time, because it was very new, and I was going to be doing a lot of traveling. Okay, that's going to alert people. Okay, so we're going to, and of course the rain's here. The heck is up with the rain and the wind? Like, I just need to, I need to get a little bit closer and make some leeway here before they notice me. Oh my gosh. I could probably be smarter about this. No, all I'm doing is laying them on here. Okay. What we're gonna do, nope, this one. We're gonna just throw a bunch of bombs and see how it goes. Yeah. Not quite close enough, huh? Yeah. Oh, and I gotta wait for it to come back. Okay. Yeah, so I had a dream that night that I was actually back working at Disney World for some reason. Alright, that helped. And here we go. Buddy, you gotta run faster than that. Oh no, it's gonna be a massacre again. No! No! Where did it go? Can I just run past them and get to the thing? Maybe. Until I get too slow and then they take me out. We'll see. So yeah, I had a dream that I was working at Disney World and they were giving us free gift bags, and in it was a particular brand of the shots. And so I woke up the next day and I decided, okay, if I go and it's this brand, I'm going to decide I'm safe. If it's not that brand, I walk out. I went, it was that brand, and I've been fine ever since. The reason I had to understand if I was safe or not was because I have a, you know, stroke-related neurological disease situation. So I was like, you know, if I do have these risks, who even knows? It's all kind of new. So I tried it and it worked out. So good news. But that was my situation. That was the dream I actually got using a dream talisman. You kind of daydreamed a spell? I love that. I'm going to activate this so we have this. And then I can attack them from the back when we come back. That's going to be the goal. I am going to need to eat some stuff though. You daydreamed a spell that you haven't tried yet. You make a spiral and then take an iron nail and hammer it into a spiral to attempt the energy, to interrupt the energy of the spiral. Cool. Jenny, what do you think that spell will do? What do you think the results will be? Because it does sound really cool. This is ridiculous. I might have to teleport away and go cook something and then come back. Or I can just eat one of these Endura carrots and be totally fine. I am pretty sure that in here I'm going to have to fight something that's going to be tough. It's going to be an ancient thing. So it may take us a couple tries, but it's okay. Yeah, because it sounds like, you know, if you make the spiral is going to channel the energy into a spiral, right? Create a little vortex or something. And then an iron nail is extraordinarily grounding. I actually have iron nails at the corners of my house to keep it protected. So that's an interesting note there, what you can do with it. It's to help with endings. Oh, and it needs to be done on Tuesday to do with the Mars. Yeah, Tuesday at sunrise, you'll guarantee Mars day and Mars hour, if that helps. And it's a really easy way to remember it. All right, I'm going to have to go in here and fight some stuff. And there's going to be lasers coming at me, and those pillars will break eventually. And I'm going to panic a little bit. So yeah, let's ask a lot of questions. It might help. But yeah, I think that's a brilliant idea, especially if you're like, imagine the metaphor of like you're actually spiraling out on something and you just can't figure things out. That's a really, really cool thing. I like that concept a lot. Oh, or you can just do that. Okay, come here. Well, that's the idea. That's going to happen a bunch. I will eventually. So here's the great thing, right? I can try again and I can learn from my mistakes. But yeah, I do love that concept. I think that's a really good idea. I feel like I should have had better weapons by now. Or I'm gonna have to. Okay, wait, no. We'll see how that goes. I can also stasis the thing. Okay, let's get creative. Let's get creative. He's gonna come out here. We're gonna explode the bomb and see how that does. Oh, if I remember how to explode the bomb, which I did not do. Okay, hang on. Stasis him! Jeez! The aim is a whole other thing, I guess. Anybody who's in an ad right now, you are not missing anything. Okay, I'm gonna try stasis from further away this time. I think that's gonna be our best shot. All right. If you have ideas, throw them in. This is fun. It's a team effort. We have to get through this so we can get all the ancient materials. Is the current thing. Let's make sure it's over on this. Cool. Okay. Stasis is going to be how we crack this thing for now, and then if he drops one of his weapons, we take it. Yeah. Okay. I need to remember my buttons. Oh, you can't stop him! Oh no! Alright. And I know, goodness, you're very fast, sir. You are very fast. Oh, you go all the way around too. Rude. Okay. Alright. You're gonna do something with a laser right there. Oh no, you're gonna spin at me. Will that knock you out? Yeah, it will. Alright, we're on to something. Okay. Oh gosh. Okay, so we see some openings. Oh, he's a little broken. We love that. Okay, he's gonna do that thingy again. We'll hide back here. We're getting clever. He breaks it every time though, so he's gotta perish soon because I am damaged. Oh, nice. Okay, that was that broken though. So, awesome. We didn't lose these. Fantastic. I do also know at some point he starts lasering at us, and I'm not thrilled about that. He will not, like, dang, he's got a lot of help. I don't think I have enough stuff for this. He's gonna hit me. It's gonna hurt. Okay. I don't think I can do this yet. I think I'm gonna have to go around and get some more weapons. He won't go away. And that's gonna break. Okay. And then, oh, I don't like how slow this one's gonna be, but it's gonna be our only hope. No. No, he's doing the laser thing. Oh. Oh, okay. Oh, I see. And then I have to remember how to shoot an arrow. Yes! Do your laser thing again. I like that. I like that a lot. Okay. Run over, Link! Don't lose all of your stamina! We need you! Okay, this is... I am so underprepared, y'all. I am so sorry. Thanks, Maven! Okay, he's gonna do the thingy again. Nice. Where's your eye, buddy? Yeah, no, that's not funny. Because I had it. I don't have enough stamina for this. Yeah. Alright, well, what we're gonna do is go and get better weapons somewhere. Question is where? Because this is a decent thing. It's not an easy one, so I'm not mad at myself here, but yeah. Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna go back out. We're gonna go get better weapons. We might be, I mean, the best weapons are gonna be guardian weapons, but I can't get them without other shrines. So we have this one to teleport to, which is good. Yeah. Thanks, man. Honestly, I'm proud of myself because I'm typically a rage gamer, and I did not. All right, so we're gonna look around. Nope, we're gonna look around and see what else we've got around here. That is ominous. Must be the castle. Okay, something. That's a tower. I really expected there to be more shrines. Oh, but we might be able to go get the apples on the tree at this point. I remember actually avoiding this shrine in my first playthrough. What are you? Are you a shrine? You are a shrine. We'll go to you. Fantastic. Here we go. Here's hoping we have enough stamina. Are the weapons different damage types? Yeah, it's not necessarily bludgeoning. They do all have different scores and amount of damage that they do. But if you're going against a guardian and you have a weapon from a guardian, that will typically do better. So you can kind of go there. This was actually called like a major test of strength. There are minor ones. I would like to start the minor ones. I don't know, am I still over water? This was, oh, it's an island anyway. Okay, this is gonna be tricky. Okay. Land, near or on land. Yes! Oof, we did that. All right. Oh, the idea was to bring a boat, but maybe next time. We're too cool for boats. Yeah, someone said you love fairies. Ooh, someone brought up fairies and I missed it. Oh, I'm going to listen to last week's in case you missed anything about fairies. Yeah, so Jenny, we were able to cover a lot about fairies last week, actually. I was so excited at how many ways we can relate this game back to fairies. You know who would have helped? Well, honestly, he probably would have perished. I do have our little wolf link here, which can help us, not in the shrines, but when we're up against enemies, and I want to remember that. Last week we used him so much, we timed out, and we were like cut off for the day from using wolf link. Wow, that was a loud one. You're interested in them. They are interesting beings. They are interesting beings. They are. Okay. Is this literally just the same concept? Or can it be a little bit easier, please? Come on, man. Not the same thing. Be a little easier. No, you don't look easier at all. You look worse. You look so much worse. Okay, hang on. No! Oh my god, we're just gonna have to... We're gonna give it our best shot. Here, have this. Yeah, you're not taking damage at all. You rude person. It's okay. If I die, I get out. There we go. Fairies and Fair Lore, yeah. Yeah, last week's episode was completely filled. Why is the game cheating? I don't know. There are supposed to be easier ones. I think I probably should have slowed down on our way here, which is fine. It's fine. I just didn't see any. But I also turned off the sensor because it was annoying as heck because there were 3 in that area. So, yeah. Highly recommend if you are interested in the Fae, investigating them more. Because there's layers, just like there are people, right? I was telling my orthodontist today. I was actually telling my orthodontist today about like how to work with spirits and things like that. Because she had questions, and she knows what I do, and I don't know what I'm doing here. But she was asking me, you know, like I don't know how to work with spirits, and I don't know how to tell which ones are trickster spirits or which ones are, you know, worth trusting and whatever. And I was like, can we just treat them like people? Because if you just treat them like people, you won't have this problem as much. I swear to you, we are good judges of character when it comes to people, and then we absolutely forget everything when it comes to spirits and the Fae and stuff like that. And I don't know, I remember being in the position of why that is. But I also truly, truly believe we don't have to do that. I truly, truly believe that we are good judges of character, and that I'm looking for opportunities like to teleport somewhere that'll give us a good vantage point, just in case anybody's wondering. By the way, our horse is way over here. We'll go here and see if maybe in the earlier stages there are some more shrines that are easier to do. So yes, treat the Fae like you would a person, which means don't dive straight into trusting strangers. Stranger danger is a thing across all layers of spirituality and realms. And some are going to be really fun and easy to work with, and you can learn to trust them quicker. And some, you're just not going to get there with them, right? It's just who they are. I found the most beings and spirits want to be left to themselves. That can be true. And then sometimes there are a lot of beings and spirits that want to interact, and then you have to figure out, like, do they want to interact because they're nice or because they're jerks? I believe, in my own experience with several beings, that like psychology is helpful across realms. I honestly think magic was one of our first points of access to mental health. I have a dog who is rolling around somewhere, and you can kind of hear her. I think it's Zelda, and she's adorable, and I love her. Oh, there are going to be guys in here. Yeah, because we had a blood moon, so everybody's back that we fought before. But that's fine, because these people we've already conquered. We know we can do it. Man, what's our best way to get to... You know, that up there is Koroks too. And that's a hill that we can get a vantage point from. So we may try that out. Look how pretty this is. Jeebers. Yeah, so when the blood moons happen in here, it resurrects everything you fought. It's not nice, but that's what happens in this game. Yeah, do not come at me, brother. You don't want to... Okay, we're going to go over there. The question is, are we going to go over there from this height, or are we going to end up in the river if we do that? You know what? Oh, but he can't get across water. Dang it, Wolfling. We'll cross where it looks more shallow. I truly think magic and mental health are so linked. My mental health didn't start to get better until I was doing both therapy and magic stuff. I adore this. Neither of them on their own are enough. Yeah, I think they each do their own things. You know, there's definitely something to be said about empowerment and learning temperance and all of those things that can come from magical work. And then there's definitely something to be said about the access to magic that you unlock when you start working on your mind. And it's funny, I think I might have mentioned this before, but when I was getting my Sakyant with the guru, he was talking about the importance of a strong mind in doing work, whether it's with magic or spirituality or spirits. And he actually, to each of us, talked about like how strong our mind was, how strong our energy was, and the importance of that. We're gonna have some fun here. Hang on. And I see it also in a lot of... Is it this one? This one. One of these is going to let us do it. In a lot of magical texts, it talks about having firmness of mind. Where are you? There you are. Yes. Okay. Buddy. You are better at this than I am, so let's have a good time. Yeah. Okay. Can you pull out a weapon here? Oh, not that one yet. Oh, butt out the ass. Ah, rude. Anyway. Who is throwing barrels at me? What are you doing? I took your weapon, I understand. Me and my dog fighting goblins. Yeah. Used this last week. Yeah. Yeah. So Wolf Link, I don't know if I got to mention I mentioned last week, but it's worth mentioning again. Wolf Link is Wolf Link. It's Link. Hang on, see his name right there? It's Link from a game where you actually do transform back and forth into being a wolf in the game. It's called Twilight Princess. It is my favorite in the franchise. And the fact that this amiibo lets you run around with Wolf Link is something that I treasure. You don't get to do it in the follow-up games, which is sad. but I find it really helpful. Do you plug in the wolf link to the console? No. So what we do in order to do this tutorial is one of the features that we have on our Sheikah slate is the amiibo feature. And then you just take the amiibo and you push it to the joystick on that same part of the controller. And the it's almost like an EFT, you know, like it just works like that. So it's just a tap and go thing. Kind of like a QR code, if you will. So that's how that works. Now I was going towards 3 trees on a hill. Do you think I remember where that hill went? The answer is no. So we're just going to go to a high place because that was the point anyway. A high place right now is going to show us a vantage point of where things are. Oh yeah, you know what? Let him have fun. Look at that. Good boy. Not having much of an effect on them though, because he's not hitting them where it counts. Buddy, catch up. We can always bring him back, don't worry. Dog's like Bones. He's good then. He's good at this. I just want to make sure we don't lose him because he will go back to his realm. Honestly, I don't want him to go back to his realm by being hurt either, so... well, that's not what I meant to do. Nice! He did it! Now you can get him, buddy. Now you can get him, buddy. Buddy, get him. No? I need better weapons in such a bad way. When the vocal arm... Hey, buddy, why are we still going? Thank you. That's over. Or is it? Because I still hear the sound going off. Alright, I can't believe this is better than a lot of my weapons right now. That's tragic. Still better? Yeah, okay. And then if that's the case, get rid of that. Okay. They're putting themselves back together. They are, yeah. Looking for a hill, can relate. Can't find my way in the city and I live 3 years. You gotta get to the vantage point and see what's up there. Buddy, you still here? Yeah, you are. Good dog. There's a shrine. That's what I'm hoping for. Alright. You want to take care of that thing? Okay. Nice. You got one, buddy. And they're all going to roll down the hill. Ugh. Remember, these are helpful in upgrading our armor and stuff, which is real great. Okay. Now that's how we crouch. We will remember this one day. We're going to go... Oh, it's a horse place, too. Great. Always love those. And it sounds like there's a Korok around here. You hear that jingling? That jingling means there's a Korok. Typically, that sound means there's one we would shoot with our bow. So I'm going to stand here. Yeah, we stand at this guy. And there they are. Alright, this is going to be great. Because, you know, they're not moving around in a weird way at all. Alright, who's coming around here? Nice. Okay. Inkwat the horse is still... Jenny, he's not necessarily in a stall. He's on a road somewhere, but we can get him back when we go to the horse stall, which we are going to right now. I believe it's that one out there. I'm just going to glance around a little bit to see what else we've got going on. Oh, here, look. It's a dragon. Ta-da! This is a dragon. This is going to be an electric dragon. We'll find out later. Oh, and there's a shooting star. Well, that's convenient. Do we want to go see the dragon? Because why not? We'll probably miss out on the dragon, but we might get to see that shooting star. We'll have to see. Yes. Okay. Who wants to talk about dragons? Since we have this opportunity now. Yeah. It came up in the game. Might as well. I feel like we lost the dog by doing that. No, he's still around. Okay, great. Because I can see his thing back here. Alright, there's the dragon. So, my personal experience, I don't know why I'm being quiet in like reverence to this dragon. My personal experience with dragons is quite limited. Reason being, they don't work with me much. I've experienced them, I've chatted with them, that I don't personally work with the one, you know, the whole sense of like everybody's got a dragon. Maybe, but I'm not very much inclined to it. Now, in this game, the concept is that you shoot the dragon with a bow and arrow. Hi, buddy. And you would get a scale of the dragon, which comes in handy at some point. Now, I'm not one for dragon cruelty. Although it's not an although. But if we get close enough, it's very difficult, and it's going to start throwing out electric things at us as we get closer. So, but I wonder if, hang on. Nope. What are we doing here? I want this. There. Okay, there. We got a picture of the dragon. That's a good goal. Yes. Cool. Never enough arrows in the game. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, so I had experiences with dragons. I have met them, I have talked to them, especially recently in Thailand. There were these caves where we had a lot of dragon experiences. Iceland had a lot of dragon experiences, which was pretty cool. And Japan, of course. And it's funny, my first inclination when I was first like learning about dragons and all that kind of stuff was that I associated them with mountains. They felt like mountains to me, the same kind of energy. I just pictured like mountains as coiled up dragons, and it turned out in Japanese lore that's exactly the idea. Especially since in Japan a lot of their mountains are also volcanoes. They had the image of a volcano being sort of a portal to a dragon realm, which is neat, right? So like Mount Fuji is technically a portal to a dragon realm in their opinion. This is going to be a Korok. We're going to send this down here and see what happens. Push it, man. There we go. Very slowly, but it's going to happen. We'll let Wolflink have his fun over there. Look out, Wolflink! Oh my god! Okay, we're fine. Cool, what's happening here? Did that do it? Yeah, it did. Okay, great. Yeah, so dragons are very associated with mountains. I like the idea of, you know, the metaphor and the symbolism there of ancient things, right? Mountains have been around watching for eons, and I feel like dragons have a very similar thing. What's another one? If you think about dragons as they're represented in Avatar: The Last Airbender, that feels pretty accurate to the way I've understood it. Where they were kind of just there first. In fact, Genshin Impact does the same thing, where the world was a place of dragons before humanity arrived. So there's a lot of lore around that we can work with. But if you work with dragons, tell me more about your experience. Because like I said, I talked to dragons, and I remember like talking to them once, and I was like, hey, is there anything I need to know? Do we work together or anything? And they were like, we work in the same building, but we're not really. Oh, the dragon's around. You can tell because, cool. We're gonna get the music and everything. Here he's back. And there's the electric stuff flinging off of him. They create these air things so that you have the chance to go up and shoot with your bow. So like if I could catch someone here. I can't. I lost his wind. He's going back up into the sky. Bye, dragon. Thanks for coming. It was great to see you. They're so majestic in this game. I love the way that they show dragons here. It's just really nice to see them as like this natural force, which I think is another really great way of kind of describing how they feel. They just feel like a fact of nature. It's really, really neat. Yeah. Cool. I'm near a lake, and I swear if you look at it with Google Maps, it looks like a dragon. I do not doubt you, Jenny. I believe it. Yeah, it's so cool to remember, and I really put it that way, to remember how magical the world is. Any thoughts about possibilities of lore about thunderbirds or similar beings? Maybe interpretation version of dragons in the Americas. I don't have a lot of education on this yet, but if I were to take some like guesses and feel into the energy of it intuitively, which I can absolutely do, but again, I would love to be able to confirm it at some point with some actual research. Thunderbirds, they feel slightly different. They feel more like a almost Fey category. When I feel energy of things like that, I feel them in different categories. And so, like there's eldritch things, and thanks, buddy. There's eldritch things, which are like, you know, stuff that just comes from the corners of darkness or whatever. Doesn't necessarily make it bad, but it's like, don't mess with it. It's been around for a long time. I was going to the shrine. I don't know where the shrine is, so we're going to go to the tower, unlock that map, and then go to the shrine from there. Wolf Link found something to destroy in the meantime. What was it? It was a bird. Okay, now we have a drumstick. Okay, great. Thanks, bud. So we'll get this tower and unlock that too. That's going to help us in the long run. Yeah, the legend of some Native American culture about coyote. Oh, jeebers. How's Wolf Link doing here? He's still good. Okay. How coyote tricked the dragon into becoming a dragonfly. Oh, that's interesting. Now, see, that's something, like, if the lore talks about it, I'm in. I trust them. Wolf Link, move! Get out of there! We need you to go in. Oh, thank goodness. Tap it in there. Cool. Yeah, and then, let's see, I read a really cool novel about a dragon lore from around Boston to shape a dragon's breath. Ooh, it sounds really good. Yeah, I don't know if I've ever read anything or encountered anything that I was like, that's specifically it, how I feel it. Not to say it doesn't exist, obviously. We're going to try to catch that thing, because that's also a Korok. I'm sure it's going to come around this way. Oh, I hit the wrong button for examine. Okay. Was that an X? What was the examine button here? A. I did do that. Okay. We just have to get our timing right. Fine. Just keep hitting A, and when it comes around and when we meet each other. We totally missed each other. That's fun. Yeah. So this is very Fae accurate, right? I'm being played with. But we played the game, and we won. And this is like, the exchange of energy in this case is, it wanted to play a game. We played the game, and now we get the reward. So this is very Fae accurate too. Dragons feel different from Fae. So there's Eldritch, there's Fae, and then dragons just feel very ancient. They feel like if ancient energy, like almost not necessarily primordial, but primordial time gathered into something, it would be a dragon. Is how it feels. And I truly believe, like, I think dragons could like go out of the atmosphere and into space and stuff and be fine. Like, they give me that kind of energy of just like everywhere is their realm of nature. They're not confined to a planet specifically, but that's my own intuition. So yeah, again, I don't work with them personally, but we chat. Oh good, you're a blue one. And you've got a long stick. I'm so tired of people with the long sticks. Where's my weapon? Smack you around a little bit as you warn your friends. No! Why do you have friends? I mean, I'm glad when people have friends, don't get me wrong, but is that a person? No, that's just another block of land. We're gonna not slide down this in the rain. Okay, Wolf Link is still around somewhere. I have a feeling the challenge of this tower is just these guys. So if I can avoid it as much as possible. It's going to rain for the rest of my life in this game. I don't know why. I think Wolf Link took the... Oh, hi! No! No, 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 no. No, thank you. Oh boy, this is going to be good. Hiya! You don't see me? It's fine. I'm getting past you. Boom. Oh, I hope that's Wolf Link attacking them. His hearts don't seem to be struggling, so... We're going to be climbing this tower anyway, so he's probably going to go back to his realm, which is probably for the best at this point. Yeah, he went back to his realm. You could hear it. Or he just teleported here, because that was the Twilight Princess sound, which I love. I miss that game. It's been a rainy game, yeah. We don't need it, man. This game in particular, climbing in the rain is so difficult. You saw it last week or the week before, where we just slide down all the time. Now I think we have a better grip on towers and stuff, but mountains and rocks, worthless. Are there large serpents in Greek mythology of a dragon type? Yes, there are. I think. Now a lot of the time we get dragons and sea monsters kind of get a similar thing going on. So like Cetus is considered a sea serpent, and you'll find sea serpents, which are dragon-esque, in a lot of lore. Like it's even in the Old Testament, there's a sea serpent called Leviathan. And a lot of those ancient origin stories have parallels. So a lot of them kind of come from each other. So it makes sense that they have the same things in them. Tiamat in the Sumerian lore, I believe, also is a chaos being that was subdued, as they are in these lore. But I believe it was a dragon of some sort, but I think also in some iterations was a sea dragon. So yeah, Cetus is one that I would look into. But again, if you think about the culture, right? They were surrounded by water in a lot of situations. Greece is very much a Mediterranean kind of culture. And so they would put things in the water in this expanse of the unknown. So it makes more sense. A lot, especially since mountains to them were where the gods were. Even if you go back into Canaanite theory, Babylonian theory, all of those, they believed that the mountains touched the sky, and that's how the gods came down to us. Yep. So now we get to open up a new map. Don't know which one this is, but we're doing it. Scanning the area. We're making quite horizontal progress this time, not quite linear. Apologies for that. But yeah, great input, I guess, is about the dragons. I appreciate it. Maps. And how we can find our hills and temples. Exactly. The more we know. Look at how much we've done already, though. Like, I don't know. There's also that I was headed towards one, which I think I marked on the map, and then I was headed towards another one because I saw it and I was like, let's just go there, and then I lost it. So that's what I'm doing up here, is what can I see from up here? That could be one of those little orange. So there's more towers. That's definitely not the one I was looking at, though. It was close. That's back up on the plateau. Okay, where is this guy? So that's the one we already marked. And that's the horse stable too. So it's a good option in general. And we're going to get around here instead of zooming into the actual tower we're on. All right, maybe I'm just crazy. Maybe it was just about going to find a dragon in the first place, and the last one I saw was just an illusion to get us there. It was cool. It was definitely cool. Or maybe it was that one. I really don't think so, though. We'll be back over here. We're going to go ahead towards that horse stable. All right, good night, Maywen. Why am I in the kitchen? Yes. Right, and bye, Steph. Thank you so much. Oh, gotcha. It was Steph. Let's see. Wolf Link must have returned to his world. I would too if somebody flew away from me. It's okay, we'll bring him back. Cool. Alright, and we made it to the middle of this, which of course has... Can you fight stuff, buddy? Tricky. Okay, well that wasn't so bad. We'll look at this. And we're going to bring Wolf Link back out because we got stuff to fight, and that's Wolf Link's favorite thing to do. And far be it from me to tell him he can't. I just got to get it. I got to get it to go right. Hey, buddy. Come back. Come back. Okay, great. Oh, just in time. Yep. Well, what's this? mess with this in the first place. Aim. Aim. Cool. These will be great for upgrading things. Oh, hey, the chest. Who are you calling? Hang on, you can wait. I'm gonna get this. Yeah. Okay. We'll pick that up in a second. Oh! Well, joke's on you. That was the lion dragon. Yeah, I guess you could say so. These are called Lizalfos in game. We've tried a lot today. He got me right in the face. That is rude. It's okay. It's okay. We're going to get him back. Because look, we're right back where we started. And he hasn't noticed us yet. So two can play at that game. Anyway, as I was saying, I'm going to throw this out because it's like 3. And we'll take this, which is 8. Already we're doing better. We love it. All right, and we got the chest, right? We got the chest, yep. What are you? Ooh. No, we are taking that. Hang on. We'll get rid of one of these things that's like 4. Goodbye, Claymore, thank you. Oh, that is a big sword. What are you? A rusty halberd, but you're 5, so you're categorized now. We're good. Okay. Now, rather than running this whole... Do we want to walk? Do we want to simply walk to the horse stable? Or, I think... Did we lose... Oh, we died, so we lost Wolf Link again. I'm going to wait until we run into more enemies, mostly because you all know they're going to eventually try to tell us we can't have them. So, I'm going to try to... Yeah, I'm going to try to ration ourselves. And look! More rain! Fantastic. Also a thunderstorm. Is the dragon back? No. Okay, it's just a thunderstorm. Hang on. Yeah, you see why? You see it sparking like that? That means it'll electrocute me. So, for funsies, I'm going to show you what that looks like, but I'm not going to get... Yeah. Okay, and immediately it tries. No, thank you. This is how we prevent ourselves from getting electrocuted. Carry wood. All right. Not woof. Okay. I see that. I see that. It's fine. It's fine. I'm gonna avoid. Oh, jeepers! I'm gonna avoid getting electrocuted, and also those guys for now. Yeah, it's a really rainy game today. My gosh, it must be monsoon season in Hyrule. But we're just gonna dash through here. Awesome. Yeah. So we just... Oh, jeepers. You didn't miss anything. I was trying to explain, and it explained for me. I'm not even wearing metal right now, and it's still getting very close. But hopefully we're running out of that. Oh, geez, weather pattern. I guess not. But the rain's putting the fire out so fast. I can't see what happens when you... Sometimes the fire will create an updraft, and you can use the updraft to fly. But is that... You might want to bring Wolf Link back out. Hang on a sec. Are there things in there? No. No. Really? Are you telling me that's just a shelter with no enemies in it? Is this the one we already did? I guess so. Oh no, it's a Korok thing. Okay. So we have what? 4, 2, number 1's gonna be on top, isn't it? This is gonna go well. Okay, but we can't climb. Yeah, the lightning is ridiculous. Let's see if we can up a little bit. There we go. Oh my goodness. Alright, where's number 1? We're looking for one single flower. It wasn't inside. Did I miss it? Oh, gee. Well, this is a good way to pass the storm. So we have, oh, shoot, two. Where's one? Ah, here you are. Okay, so we go to here, and then we go to 2 without touching the other ones. Yes. And then we go to 3. Oh my goodness. And then 4 and 5. Woohoo! Yeah, you guys got it. You are sharper than I am. And we are making good headway on collecting these Korok seeds too. Nice. Last time we were in Egypt with Hani, the first time we were in Egypt with Hani, our keyword was Habibi. Every time we go to Egypt with Hani, we end up renaming the group chat to something that ends up being like the phrase of the trip. I don't know why. It's just that magical when you're with Hani. Let me check my map here. Okay, so we're going over that way. And so, I really thought I'd be able to see better. Okay. The first time was Habibi, because Habibi is a term of endearment for people, which was great. So every time we got on the bus, it was Habibi. He just messaged me today, actually, and was like, Habibi, how are you? And he was at the new Egyptian Museum, and he was showing me selfies of him at the new Egyptian Museum. We are a family now, and no one can take that away from us. Just go pick flowers on the face of an angry god. Yeah. That's exactly how video games work. But hey, the rain's letting up. So we've got that going for us. And somewhere around here is going to be that thing that we were going towards. Yeah, so, but what I'm getting at is recently this year we went back and, no thank you. His big term of the trip, I don't know why, was noise and amazing. And I don't know where he got that from. Honestly, he had just also hosted Malcolm, who is our Greece guide, on a trip to Egypt that Malcolm had been on. And that's how Malcolm says amazing. So I'm wondering if he was just mimicking Malcolm and like we happened to be there for it and know these two people from different parts of the world. But yeah, noise was a big one. So every time something happened, he would be like, noise. Like, really not. Oh, it's really funny. He's fantastic. He makes me very happy. Didn't get to go. Love hearing Hani and Egypt stories. Glad to hear he's super nice. And he's so passionate. He is so passionate. So you might have seen the images and the videos of that new Egyptian museum that opened up. His wife helped develop that museum. And he's so proud of her. It's so cool hearing him talk about his family in general, but he is always so impressed with his wife. He'll tell us the story about how they met and the traditions they had to go through for that. But yeah, so I got to see a picture of Hani. He was at the cafe. I know because we got to pop in there on our last trip. There it is. That's where we're going. Huzzah! Yeah, so he's doing well. And yes, of course, we are eventually going to go back to Egypt. I recall that as a slang term. Yeah, so noise, I believe. I don't know if it started as a Key and Peele skit, but I know it got popular as a Key and Peele skit. So there's something for you. I don't want to talk to you right now, Mr. Skeleton Guy. I want to get to my shrine, and this should be an easier shrine because it's at a stable. Oh, look, and who else is here? Let's talk to him first, because I don't know if he'll be here if we come back out of the shrine. We can get more weapon slots, and it looks like there's another shrine down that way. Fantastic. Because we got to get good before we can fight some of these things. Oh no, you're nowhere near where you want to be, buddy. So he's trying to get north. We will eventually get him home, don't worry. Honey proud. Oh yeah. Yep. Yeah. I could not be more of a Honey fan. For sure. Go ahead and skip that. Ta-da! Weapon stash. We needed that. We needed that a lot. We'll do another weapon stash because I keep picking those up. So cool to his. Yeah. I think she's like a structural engineer kind of person, or I just remember she helped design the place, which is really, really cool. Yeah. More rocket dance. That's the whole thing. In case you wanted to see it. Yep. Look at this. Room for 2 more weapons. Yay. Love to see it. We'll do some bow stuff. Can't hurt to have more room as we get more weapons. Thanks, buddy. I'm glad they give you a skip button. I love this guy, but also, the places to be. We can hold more weapons. Okay, so you're doing good on that. Oh, weapon stash it is. That was an accident, but I'll take it, of course. Happy to have it. I mean, they do make you happy, yeah. You don't get to miss out on the sparkles, at least, most of the time. Except they just made that happen, so I guess I'm a liar now. Whoops. We'll do a shield stash, because I think we have enough for that, and then we'll be all set. And we'll skip here, and we'll be able to. Poof, there it is. Yeah, love it. Okay. Nice. So, does anybody have any plans for the Gemini full moon? Let's see this. I think I remember how to get back to the forest. I'll head back now. Yay! Oh. There must be a little bit of delay with my controller to the computer. I did get an actual gaming PC that I will be able to set up, which will resolve a lot of the problems we might be running into here. I need Christmas to happen because I need to have a headset that works with it. So, yeah, soon, very soon. I've got the toughest part done, and I might figure out a way to set something up for next week so that we have a better setup in general, that'll have more success, even more, make this even more fun for us. Because I appreciate you guys a ton. I really love doing this, and I'm so glad that you guys come and then we get to do this. So, metal connections. I'm going to call it now. We're going to need magnesis. Especially since literally everything's above us. Okay. So we're getting up there. And, okay, first things first. Juju. I'm glad to meet this time. Aw, thank you. Look, metal things. I think I can climb those too, so we'll climb them first, because it looks like that's a chest. Yeah. But honestly, I'm here for the cozy gaming. I'm here for, this is literally everything I love all in one. And it doesn't always have to be Zelda. We can do literally anything, to be honest. Not limited to, and also including, like, Animal Crossing and that kind of stuff. Well, I was going to try to gently move that across, but that's not my style. So, you know. Cool. And then we'll get this one. Clearly they thought we were going to head closer to the castle coming out. I don't know why. This feels a little bit more tutorial-esque, but like, I went towards where the story said to go. Also, I think on that bridge would have been one of our memories. I have to remember to keep those in mind. But we've got teleports now, so we can do them. What platform would be using first? So I have a gaming PC. I have a Switch, eventually to be a Switch 2. And we have a PS5 that I would be able to use, because it's a family PS5 kind of situation. So I've got options. I actually just really like gaming, so yeah. Whatever your suggestions are, I will happily take them into account. And we can try to figure out like what points we want to like rest with on Zelda and then move forward. And we can always come back. That kind of stuff. eventually, if I can swing it, we can always do like multiple days and stuff of like Monday's Zelda Day or whatever. Or however we want to do it. I hope I'm doing this the right way. We'll find out. Yeah, gaming is amazing. I agree with you wholeheartedly. Honestly, I was saying to Em, because the one clip we had from a week or so ago went mildly viral, which was really cool. So I'm hoping that's a good sign for this platform for us. I would love to do more of this and make more like fun and educational and useful things for us to learn with. Because I really enjoy it, and I'm glad you guys do too. All right, that's the oh. No, it's not. Okay. It's okay, because we can climb them. So what we're going to do, actually this gives us a smarter way to do things. You're going to be my base. Okay. Right, you rest over here for a second. I'll come back. This is a long list of reasons. I'm trying to figure out how to be my own boss. Get a flexible job. I want to do fun stuff when I want. Yeah. I guess I was just lucky that my job ended in 2020 and I had to get really creative. Because and here's are we gonna fall over again, or are we gonna be, because I don't think I need that bridge, as long as this doesn't fall on me. So what happened for me was, let's not do that, buddy, you're gonna counterweight it. Huh. I'm not amazing at science, but I know a little bit about physics. Sheesh. Nope. Okay. What happened for me was I was in my Saturn return. I was trying to make a regular job thing happen. I am far too neurodivergent for that, it turns out. And so I ran out of options and needed to do something, and people kept asking me for astrology. And I had said to like my guides, like, what do you want me to do? What's the, no, stop. Okay. Scoot this back. All of it goes over. That's fine. We got time. We'll just do this the long way. It's fine. Yeah, so I kept saying, like, make it obvious what I'm supposed to do. And then suddenly, as I'm trying to make writing happen and, like, be in a corporate job and all this stuff, people kept asking me for astrology readings. And I tried to not do it for a while. I was like, no, that's not my thing. I'm trying to make these things happen. And I decided the job I was with made a choice that I could not align with. And so I, are we good? You're not good. I don't trust you up there. So I ended up starting astrology just as a something to try, because I had to leave my job. Not because I was quitting, but, oh, Krista, why? Okay, here's what we're going to do. Just tuck that up there. Are you going to stay up there? And you're going to, don't fall on me. You're going to stay up there. Okay, cool. We just have to build underneath that now. That's all we have to do. How's that look? Close enough. Yeah, so that's what happened for me. It was my Saturn return. Saturn took away what I thought I was going to be and then shoved astrology at me, which I was happy about. Like, I love astrology, don't get me wrong. I just really thought I was going to be in a different place, but I can do both, which is great. So, my guide's the character in my mind that waves the red flags are so tired of me. Oh, the red flags, no. Okay. How am I doing? Nope. Back a little bit. I can't believe I'm being like ruined by physics. Oh my gosh. I'm starting to feel like maybe, I mean, I feel like this is the answer. I'm not feeling wrong about this. But I would like another, can I make it so that I just climb you? Are you? No, you're too high up. Are you kidding? You are. How did I get you up there in the first place then? Do tell. Okay. this, right? Let's actually see what happens. He won't walk off the ledge. I appreciate that, Link. That's really helpful. That's what I wanted, even if it's not exactly the way I wanted to get there. Metaphor for life. Okay. Okay, cool. One day I'll remember that. Gabe, you are lovely, and you don't have to ever remember anything, but you always do. Yeah, and if you jump in late, I'm happy with that too. I appreciate you. I was just talking about how I got into astrology, so you'll love this. Like I said, I was working in a more corporate setting, which I loved the idea of a steady income and like a job that I could be important in and stuff. And apparently this was not in the cards for me because I needed to do something completely different and live in the very Sagittarian second house lifestyle of, you know, you might feel stable or you might not. What am I doing with my life right now? This is not the hard stuff that we were doing before, but it's its own type of hard. I really think I should be able to make a bridge out of this. If anybody has other ideas, let me know. Yeah, so I tried. I tried this and I tried corporate. And honestly, I was in a really cool environment, or a cool, like, theoretically cool thing. But when the ideals didn't align, that's literally why I've left a lot of my jobs. They did something and I'm like, ideologically, I do not agree. I must leave now. Can you stay? Can you stay? Did you stay? It stayed. Okay. Yeah. But it's okay, because we made a bridge and we did it like 20 minutes later. Oh my goodness. But that's fine. That's fine, because now we're at a horse stable again. Yay! That's what I get for trying to chat and do brain things at the same time. Sometimes we're the hammer and sometimes we're the anvil. I have found, and I guess I attribute this to my more scorpionic energy. I'm not really sure. I tend, when I do work for other people, I come in when something's dying. And I mean this so literally, because I came into that job right as the pandemic was hitting, and I stayed there for a year, and things were falling into a different way for them, like right as things are transforming, I guess. I call myself the Mary Poppins of these places. I'll come in, I help clean something up, and then something happens where I'm like, I gotta go. And then I leave and they do what they do. They are still running as far as I know. But then another job I had in like 2013, I had just moved in with Dan, and I needed to get a job. And so I found the closest Disney store, and I was like, I'm gonna be a cast member again because that was fun. So I tried to get a job there, and I immediately got promoted to a key holder manager, but they had just lost their main manager and one of their assistant managers, of which there had been 2, and we were supposed to have 4 key holders, and then more than that, because it was the Christmas season, so we were supposed to have like an extra assistant manager and like all these other things. We had me and an assistant manager, and then a manager that came in from Baltimore who hated us and was so mean to us, and that was it. And so I was there, and I stayed there, and I did basically, I think it was like 70 hours a week, paid part-time over Christmas, working the equivalent of assistant manager and 4 key holders, plus we didn't have seasonal people. And I stayed there until January something that year, so that we could get through that, and I waited until they had like a staff more in place, and then I left to work for another job because that was not good for my mental health. I would literally cry every day going to work for the Disney store because of how toxic the work environment was in that particular case. It was unfortunate. So we're going to call Blot back in our last 5 minutes here, and that'll be, I can only take out Blot, but we can take out Blot. So now we have rescued Blot, who still hates us. If you notice, that was still a 0. Like, man,
Yeah.
I don't know why Blot hates us. I'll tell you one thing we can do also next week. There's a big horse that is technically Ganon's horse. It's around the plateau. I think I remember where it is. And so next week, that's what we can focus on as we also try to get better weapons, some more exploration done, and maybe look for some of the locations that are on our album. We can start looking at some of these spaces that we've already uncovered. In fact, this first one is right where we're at, so we'll do them in order. And next week we'll start with a cutscene, and we'll see if we can make Blot our friend. Like right now we're fine. We'll see if we can make Blot our friend, and maybe we'll look for that other horse too, just for collection's sake. Yeah, we're so cool. Yeah, can we bribe Blot? You know, it's just a matter of time spent with Blot. Oh, or we just jump off of him. I meant to say go. So yes, if we just cruise with Blot this way. Actually, we're gonna go toward the castle. Where is the castle? Whoa, buddy. Circles, not necessary. I think the castle's actually this way. When we get to the top of the hill, which we learned is like our thing to do, we might see it. Hang on a sec. We haven't opened up where the castle is yet. Crazy. Huh. That's interesting. Okay, so yeah, we're gonna go towards where the castle is and unlock some stuff there. But we've covered a lot of ground. It does. It's when the pat thing. I can't remember how to do the pat thing. I keep bringing out a bludgeoning thing, you know. And that's jumping off of it. So I've been looking for the pat thing, but no one's told me how to do it yet, and none of my buttons do it. So yeah, it's weird. Is it? Yeah, nothing does it. Nope, that's also that. Nope. Yeah, none of the buttons actually do the pat thing. I know. Because I thought the same thing. Like, well, can we stop jumping off the horse, buddy? Okay. You're doing great, buddy. Just keep walking a little bit. I need to see. There's the castle. No, don't hurt the deer. Oh, but hang on. Is that a Korok thing? It is. Tell me why I can see that. Cool. Okay. Blot, tell me you were impressed. That was cool, right? That was cool. Okay, so it looks like is the tower we're going for that way. Look at all these other horses, Blot. They're nice. They like us. We're gonna go to that tower, and that's where we will save for the night. We'll start at that tower next week and go to get our first cutscene. Thank you. I sometimes have a good eye. Zelda has taught, this game franchise has taught me how to be more observant. I swear to goodness. That's the tower we're looking for, right? We'll find out. I just feel like it should be a little bit closer, but who knows? Yeah, I wish I could find, oh, there's one of those guys. Nope. You're not gonna get Blot. You're not gonna get Blot. No! Oh no! Blot! No! This is terrible! Run, Blot! Run! Oh, Blot's on fire. Nope. We all died. No, Blot got away. Blot got away. Okay, I'm gonna say continue and see where it puts us. Get us somewhere safe. And we'll go from there. L button on the left shoulder to soothe. Thank you. We're just going to stay right here. We got that. Cool. Over here. Okay, so you said left shoulder. Ah! Look at this! We're making friends! What a way to cap off tonight. Thank you so much, Beulah. I appreciate you. It was fortunate in the end because we learned how to soothe the horse, and now we can pretend like that never happened because we get to come back here. So that's where we're gonna call it for the night. I appreciate you all. After whatever that was, we all needed a pat. Agreed. And we will do better next time. So thank you guys so much. We'll see you next week when we start with cutscenes, and we'll have plenty to talk about with that Mars-Saturn square too. So feel free to bring your questions. As always, I'm here for you. I'll see you next on Friday here on Twitch and on our YouTubes. So no problem. Have a great time, guys.